Welcome back to the Heritage Show. In this second part of my two-part conversation with Dr. Dina Glouberman, we continue to explore the powerful themes of self-love, burnout recovery, and the importance of living authentically. If you missed part one, Dina is a world-renowned psychotherapist and the creator of Image Work, a transformative approach to therapy and personal growth. Her book, The Joy of Burnout, was a pivotal guide for me during my own burnout recovery, and her work continued to inspire me as I integrate those teachings into my coaching practice. In today's episode, we dive deeper into how to navigate life changes with mindfulness, self-compassion, and creativity. Dina shares personal stories and insights highlighting how we can slow down in a fast-paced world, practice gratitude, and embrace the power of community in healing. Let's dive into this conversation on healing, authenticity, and the power of self-compassion. Thank you, Dina. As we talked about this self-love, self-compassion topic, I'd really love to hear from you because you had burnout yourself before, and you helped so many people recover from burnout and prevent burnout. So what is your definition of self-compassion, self-love, and what do you do to love yourself? If you can share.
Yes, quite interesting, because of course you do many things, but I think, as you said, probably the most important thing is that my priority has changed. As you say, that I am on a path of joy, that I don't want to waste my life achieving things if I'm not there.
Right.
That somehow my priority is that I listen to myself. Many years ago, I went to a psychic who said to me something very simple. She said, you can do whatever you want, but that's the point, what you want. She said, do what you want to do and not what you don't want to do. And at that time, I thought that was completely ridiculous and impossible. You had to do what you had to do. You had to do what you should do. You had to do all the things that, But I think that is kind of my mantra now, is that I listen to see what I truly want. And I don't do what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Unless, again, it's absolutely necessary. And if it's necessary, I want to do it because it's necessary. And I think that I'm sort of feeling that if I'm not in touch with my joy, then I'm kind of wasting my time. And the creativity is very important to me, but the joy probably is even more important. And so if I probably need to be creative in order to have my joy, but it's not. But being creative without joy, I don't want that anymore. And I'm not sorry I lived the way I lived in a way, although I sometimes thought, when I look back at the person I was when I was 20 or something, what would I say? And I would say, slow down, because I was in such a hurry. I was in such a hurry to do everything, to get it all done, to have a life, and now I think, take your time, find out what's important, enjoy it.
Slow down. I love it. And it's so opposite as kind of our daily busy life mindset. And maybe a practical question on this is, so many of us have many responsibility in life, like work, partner, kids, yourself, parents. How do we slow down if there's so many responsibility pressures around us, so many to-dos, tasks, projects?
Well, what comes to mind is something. Do you know who Thich Nhat Hanh is? The Vietnamese.
Yes, the meditation
Vietnamese
teacher.
Buddhist.
Yes, he's very famous.
So, I was in his ashram and in Plum Village. He's died now. Wonderful man. And I was learning a walking meditation from his sort of head honcho named Chang Kung. And she was showing us how you take, in walking meditation, you walk very slowly.
Yes.
One step, one breath. Second step, breathe in, breathe out. But she said, so if you're having to catch a train, So you take 4 steps to breathe in and 4 steps to breathe out, but you're still breathing in and breathing out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's a kind of a key to what we're talking about. Rushing and hurrying doesn't get things done any faster.
Yeah.
What if you are centered in yourself and doing things at the right speed and staying in touch with yourself, that is probably more efficient than boom, 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 boom. I have to do everything in a hurry.
Right.
Because judging from me, but other people might be different, I rush, 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 and then I have to stop. And then I rush, 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 and then I have to stop. And I have a friend who accomplishes an enormous amount. She's always does things slowly, but she doesn't stop. She just keeps going.
Mm.
And so it's possible to keep your rhythm, stay in touch with yourself. And I think that maybe the crucial issue there is trust. You're in a hurry because you don't trust yourself. If I don't hurry, I won't get it done. But when I trust myself, I say, well, of course I'm going to do it. If the child's crying, I'm going to pick him up. If I need to feed someone, I'll feed them. Of course I'll do all that in my time, at my speed.
Yeah.
I have to honor myself and honor them at the same time. I can't just say you're important, I'm not important. That's no good. We're both important, and we're going to do this in a way that serves us both and keeps us both. And also, when I'm rushing to do all those things, I'm not present for the people that I'm doing it for, am I? I'm just rushing around. You know, you're so busy all the time. You know, I was told I was always busy.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was slow and in touch with them, they would feel loved. Even if they had their dinner 10 minutes later, you know, they'd still be loved.
Yeah.
So I think it's something like that. You stay in your rhythm, but you keep going and you do what you have to do. And you will get it done because you know it needs doing. And if it doesn't need doing, then maybe you won't get it done. And that's okay.
Yeah, I love it. And this also reminds me of a conversation we had before. Remember, I told you about a lot of things I want to do, but feel like there is not enough time and it's getting late. And you said one sentence really stuck with me. And you said, there's not enough time, so walk slowly.
Oh, yeah. It's another saying. It goes, there's much to do. There's little time. You must go slowly.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's really...
And that sums it up.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Exactly.
You know, and they used to say about, was it Gandhi or something? He would go for an hour's walk every day. And when he was really busy, he'd go for 2 hours.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, because when you're putting stress on yourself, you actually need to take better care of yourself. But I think on the deep level, this trust is very important. You will get it done.
Yeah.
If it needs doing.
Yeah, I see.
But not at your expense, because that's a waste of life.
Yeah, exactly. I was struggling to decide earlier if I should go again to a meditation retreat this year, because I thought, another 10 days that I cannot do anything. I mean, I cannot do anything productively.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then back to this conversation again, it's about giving myself time to slow down, to look inward, to do one step at a time. As you said, be at the moment, be mindful, and trust the process.
And if you go into yourself, do you want to do this?
I want to do it. I want to do it
every year. Okay, well, then you do it.
Yeah, love it. And we touched one important topic also earlier I want to ask you, because a lot of my friends, my audience, my clients ask me, I want to live life authentically. I want to get rid of those societal expectation from my parents, from my spouse, from myself. How do we do it? Because there's so much at stake. It's so high. And how can I give up, like me was wondering last year, how can I give up my 17 years of corporate leadership experience and just suddenly become a coach? And only when there is a freediving accident happened to me that I was literally looking up thinking, is this the last moment of my life? And then I quit my job the second day. But I hope no one had to experience such a drastic near-death experience to make that call to change their life path. But how can we do this? Because there's so much fear in making the change.
And that's, I think, also where it helps to have help. I think it helps, the imagery helps you to understand things, but, it's good to do it in a group, maybe, for example, I run groups on Skiros. If people go on to skiros.com, you'll find groups, communities, people that support you. I think, one of these steps, because I've only told you the first step, stop, give up hope, keep the faith. One of the steps is about a soul community. And a soul community is people who honor you for yourself and not for your achievements, not for your golden eggs.
Yeah.
I think it's important that you have people in your life and maybe that you have a regular meeting or something who support that person who you really are and who don't discount the work and just say, oh, just love yourself and forget about the work, because that doesn't work for you. It's about knowing that it's important, but that also you're important and you need to find the best way to do it. So I would say it's difficult to do it on your own, but having a near-death experience, I have a friend who nearly died from a stroke, and she was a big smoker. And they said, if you smoke, you'll die.
Yeah.
She gave it up the next day.
Right.
So, because she was smoking 40 a day, but boom.
Oh.
So near-death experiences help because they absolutely confront you with who you really are.
Mortality. Yeah.
But that's what burnout does for you. That's why I say I'm grateful. If it hadn't been for burnout, I might have just kept soldiering on an old pathway.
Yeah.
And it's taken me all this time to really be willing to listen and say, okay, that road is over. What's next? So right now in my life, I'm ready for a new path, which is not completely different. I'm still doing many of the same things. But I'm looking to see what is my new expansion, what's going to be different. I've learned how to follow those pathways, but I wasn't able to do that. And if I hadn't burnt out, I might not have. I might have been driven for many years longer. Or got a heart attack or God forbid, or something horrible. So I would say it's difficult to do. Sometimes people just wake up and they know. Sometimes they have, as you say, a near-death experience, but it does help to have a soul community, people who really support you to be who you are. And that's where a therapist, a coach, a counselor is also very helpful, because they can remind you who you are, and that who you are is not what you do. Who you are is that being of light who creates all the things you do.
Yeah, love that. I agree. I think the community is so essential to give you space to fully be yourself and to be seen and to be accepted, not because of your work, but just because you are as a being. And
just to add to this, Lynn, which I think is important, is that the soul community, many people felt that people loved them for their golden eggs and so on. But when they went to those people, they sometimes discovered that these people were willing and happy to be their soul community. That really, if you decide what you decide, that they will be with you. So it may be that some of the people who you think only value you for what you do, it's not true.
Yeah.
It just feels like that. So it's not just new people who can do it. It's the people who love you can show up and say, of course, it doesn't matter if that's what you want. I only want you to be happy. You know?
I love that. It reminds me also another time when I was preparing a freediving competition, and I was sitting on the boat really frustrated because I didn't go as deep as I planned. The training was really bad. And I just looked at my instructor and Sergio. I said, what if I cannot dive to 50 meters this time? And he was just laughing. And he said, Lynn, we love you regardless how deep you dive. It's not about the depths. We just love you, here.
How beautiful. Yeah.
Just enjoy the water. I think that really changed
Enjoy
everything.
the water. Yes.
That's what he said.
I think when we think about those two futures, the difference is exactly at that moment. The negative future is, what happens if I can't dive 50 meters or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And the positive future is, we love you, just enjoy the water.
Yes.
I think that probably sums up the answer to burnout and to a lot of other things too. Yeah.
Totally. Thank you, Dina.
There's another one that you asked about, which is an exercise that's called the boat.
Yes.
And that is about give up hope and keep the faith, which is, just very briefly, I'm not going to take people through it.
Yeah.
You stand on the boat of your life. This is an image. And you write on it the 5 most important people and things in your life. And you tell each of them why they're important. So it could be family, it could be work, it could be whatever. You tell each of them why you can't live without them. So you have the 5 most important things or people on your boat. And then once you've done that, you say to each of them, I love you, but I have to let you go. And you put them over the side of the boat, or you throw them over, or whatever you want to do. And they can all swim, so you're not drowning them.
Good news.
But they're all going. And then you stand in the center of the boat with none of them. And then you find out who you are. And that's give up hope and keep the faith. All the things you thought were necessary for life, you've got rid of. And you're still okay.
Yeah.
And then you have a choice to invite back or to invite who you want back. But the conditions are different. And the conditions are, I put myself at the center of the boat. And I remember I was doing this exercise with someone. And I said, where are you? She said, I'm in the center of the boat. And then she gets her husband on. She moves a little bit back. He needs a nice place. And then she gets her sister on. And then she moves a little further back. She needs a nice place. And then
back to the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
That exercise is one of the people's favorite exercises.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so powerful when you realize that I have to stop thinking, and that's the burnout thing. It's that you believe that that's more important than life itself.
Yeah.
Boundaries, there's so much is written about boundaries. Let's put it very simply. Well, I'm going to give you an image, which I find helps me. I open my heart, close the gate.
Yeah.
I open my heart, but I have a space around me which is protected. And that's my image. Really, when we say boundaries, what we're really saying, can I say no?
Yeah.
And I think that the boundary question is a sort of superficial way to describe what we're really doing, is saying, I honor myself. I'll do what I want to do. I'll say yes when I want to say yes. And I'll say no when I want to say no. And I'll find out what happens. I think that's very important, is that those of us that have trouble with boundaries, we never found out what would happen if we said no.
Because
But
we're scared.
Enough, other people survive and they don't hate us, or they leave our lives and we're better off without them, because the people that won't let us have boundaries can be quite dangerous to ourselves. And also people rely on you to say no because, I'll ask you to do something. If you say yes, I'll assume you want to do it. But I'd rather you said no if you don't want to do it, because then I don't have to worry. Can I ask, and the English thing that I learned when I came here from America is you mustn't ask people because they can't say no.
Yeah, right.
And I found that very difficult, So do the other person a favor. Say no if you don't want to do something, or put it in a way that it is okay for both of you. Say it with love. Say it with respect.
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry. First, back to the topic about the lifeboat image that I worked with a few clients on this as well. Exactly as you said, they love it.
Wow.
It's one of their favorite
It's one of their favorite exercises.
Yes. And they go back, work also with their spouse, with their friend. Because
really?
They found it such life-changing and a really wake-up call for them to realize, oh my God, I have been just squeezed myself in the corner and everything else on the boat is not about me. So I think they love it. And this is definitely a life-changing exercise. I think I can definitely leave the link of the exercise and the book.
Yes, that's good. I created that exercise one day when I was going to run a course. And I said, how am I going to get to the center of my life?
Mm.
And I had a picture of a circle. Later it became a boat.
Yeah.
And I put myself, so I had to work it out because I could see that I was in the far corner to the left.
Right. Yeah.
So in a way, all these exercises came up because I needed them. And I want to say this to people because it's so important for people to know you are not alone. We all live in this society. We are all struggling with these things. And if you're burnt out, can promise you that you've had some of the same things that we've all had. So don't feel alone.
Yeah.
Just be aware that you've taken, what I say is you're on your spiritual journey. If you've burnt out, you've probably reached the point where you're able to give and to love, but you haven't learned how to love yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself. So that's your next step. And the burnout came to teach that to you. That's good. Be grateful for the teachers that you have.
Yeah.
And the burnout is your teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. You said be grateful. This is such a key word for me in the last few years.
Yes.
For everything happened in my life, all the up and downs, challenges.
Yes.
That I now really every day put into the gratitude work and do the loving kindness meditation, sending love to people I love, myself, maybe people around me, maybe people hurt me, and to all sentient beings. I think with this gratitude, it really helps you also be more resilient and going through the difficult time as well.
Yes. And I was taught once, many, many years ago, by a shaman. He said a shaman doesn't put his foot on the floor before he says, thank you for my life.
Yeah.
And I've started to, as soon as I remember, I say, thank you for my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes now I add, and may we all live a long and happy life. And that shifts me into another space.
Yeah.
Just thank you for my life reminds me. Yeah. I've got a meditation which I teach people. And one of the things is, thank you for the day just because I have a day.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Such a reminder.
Yeah.
For us to be grateful even for this moment, to be grateful to be alive. And thank you for being here, Dina.
And thank you, Ling. And you're so lovely how you always say, I love this and I love that.
Yes.
And that is such a lovely way to talk to somebody. And I appreciate that.
I genuinely mean it because this is such a...
I know you do, but that's the lovely thing about you.
Thank you.
Do mean it.
Thank you. I felt so much warmth now in my body and so much energy now from this heartfelt conversation. Yes. And those vulnerable moments I share with you.
Yeah, you were very open and honest. And I'm now going to tell you something else. I did that exercise. I always do it before this meeting that we had.
Wow.
And the negative one was I was trying to get it right and do the right thing. The positive one was that I connected to you.
Oh, I love that. We connected.
And that's what we did. And that's why we're both happy.
Yeah.
Whereas if I tried to get it all right, we would have both been a bit burnt out.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that energy even cross the screen. Yes. And I'm really, really grateful for you spending this much time on my podcast, share so much insight, wisdom, lessons to me and my audience. And I felt like there's so much I look forward to learn from you this year in the course.
I'm so pleased that you're coming to the course. If anybody else wants to study, let me know. Go on my website, dinaglouberman.com.
And I will leave the website and all the information in the show notes. So Dina, your work is so inspiring and empowering, and I really want more of our audience to be able to learn and get more practice and knowledge from you. So how can they connect and find more about your approach and your work?
Well, the first thing is I have a website, and it talks about everything I'm doing, my books, the centers I've been running in Skiros in Greece, the courses I run in southern Italy, everything is on there. So you have a look at that. You can also download all of these exercises, and it's very cheap to do it, and then you'll hear me taking you through an exercise, even like the one that we just did a year from now. There's also Skiros, which is, as I said, the center I created in 1979. Believe it or not, I'm sure that was before you were born. Is it?
Lovely place. Yes.
So, and that website is Skiros. And also, I've got my 5 books, which this was my first book, Life Choices,
Life Changes,
yes. Which was the first book in which it was like a textbook. I gave all the exercises and why we do that and so on. And if you go on my website, all those exercises are on there as MP3s that you can download. So you read a chapter, you do the exercise. The next one was, guess what?
The joy of burnout.
That was when I burnt out,
Yeah.
And
life-saving book.
That was, yes. And then You Are What You Imagine is a very practical book. It's 10 chapters, 10 exercises. It takes you from where you are, seeing wherever you are, no matter how awful it feels, as a catalyst that starts you on your pathway. And again, I have an MP3 that has those 10 exercises, 1 chapter. It's all aimed at you learning how to do it yourself. Then I have this book, which is a little different, Into the Woods and Out Again. This is my memoir. This tells the story of how at the age of 27, I went into a mental hospital.
Oh, no.
I went crazy, and why that was such a good experience also. I do that quite humorously, hopefully. And then going out of hospital, becoming normal, which I didn't like at all. Then I was married, had children. Then I started Skiros, the creative life. Then I had it's talking about also separation, loneliness. It's 17 years of my life.
Wow. And
it's written in such a way that you can hopefully learn something. It's kind of, if I can do it, so can you.
Yeah.
Is the principle. And then finally is the book I wrote.
Let me get it too.
Yes.
Image work. Love
Image
this
work.
book.
And this is the book that is as I say, is my last book. This is the book to pass on to practitioners how to use all this with individuals, with groups. I try to teach everything I know. And it's very easy to find things because it's got charts that, it's really
very practical.
It's very practical. In the beginning, you can look up what page, what exercise, what everything. And then also I have, I've got courses in southern Italy. So I have 2 2-week courses in Greece this summer, and 1 5-day course, which you're doing, Ling, which is a training. As I said, there's 2 places left, and 1-week course in October, which is a retreat. And I think there's 1 place left there.
Yeah.
So all of that. And
lovely.
And also to remember that you can create all these things for yourself once you get the principle of it.
Yes, totally. And on the side note, I use this image work on my practice a lot, and I look forward to deepen my knowledge with you very soon.
I'm very excited that you're coming, Ling. I think that's so great.
Thank you for this opportunity.
We'll have a good time.
Yes, for sure. And thank you again so much for this wonderful, inspiring, and insightful conversation. I can't wait to meet you in person, and then also we collaborate more. Is there anything you're looking forward to? Any new project or new things for yourself you want to share?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this new stage in my life when I've done my last book, when I feel I've done what I said I would do in a way. So I feel I have a bit more freedom now to see where my joy wants to take me. I have booked a holiday in the Himalayas,
Oh,
which
amazing.
I always want. I always wanted to go back there, but I wasn't fit enough to trek. And I found a holiday because I felt the Himalayas were like wisdom peaks. I
Yeah,
love the Himalayas. But
magnificent.
really, it's more about whatever I'm doing, wherever I am, I want to be in touch with my joy. And if I can do that, I will be very content.
Yeah, I hope you get a lot of magic and insight and wisdom from the mountain. I think they are
I love
magnificent.
it. Have you been to the Himalayas?
Yeah, I've been on the Annapurna, the
Oh, yeah.
track circle for like 5 days, and I looked very afar to the Everest, and it's something hard to describe. It's one of my dream to go to the Everest base camp. Well, still need to plan for that. Let's
Yes,
see.
that's a big deal. Yeah, that is a big deal. But when I was in many, many years ago, I was in a group, I was in northern India. And when I left, when I had the last sight of the Himalayas, I cried.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I realized I loved them. I would miss them. So I said, okay, let's
Go
do
back.
this. Yeah.
I wish you enjoy that. And yeah, thank you so much, Dina.
Thank you, and lots of love.
Yes, have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us for the second part of my conversation with Dr. Dina Glouberman. We've explored the deep transformative power of self-love, mindfulness, and community in burnout recovery and personal growth. If you're at the verge of burnout, don't hesitate to reach out. Whether it's to Dina or to me, we're here to help guide you through this. If you found value in today's episode, I encourage you to check out The Joy of Burnout. It's an invaluable resource on the journey of healing, and I've left a link in the show notes for you to get your copy. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. What resonated with you the most? Feel free to reach out on social media or leave a review and share how you're embracing the journey of self-compassion. Take care of yourself. Until next time.